Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Anthony Cumia was a huge superstar with Opie and Anthony for many years in New York. Him and his show beat up on Howard Stern, made Howard very nervous. But now his partner is, I guess, doing podcasts. I don't know. He's irrelevant. But Anthony is still a major star, on terrestrial radio. He's got a big podcast, too. But his show here on Sunday nights at WABC 8 to 11 has big ratings. Everybody loves him. He's a genius. He's my dear friend, Anthony Cumia. And Anthony was upset about the video, of course, that everybody saw at the Inner Circle on Saturday. So many people. And I promised I wouldn't talk about Beret Boy today. And I haven't. I haven't mentioned him once. Not once. But I get so many texts and phone calls because, remember, I was the sellout, I was the backstabber. And I still get plenty of those messages on my Twitter every day from the bots that him and his wife put on my page, which they must pay for. But the truth is that all the real people in this city were really upset. And Anthony Cumia, you were one of those guys, weren't you?
Sid, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
Yeah.
And, I got to say, I was one of the biggest supporters of Curtis during his mayoral run.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah, I know. But I was in that camp. I was like, hey, forget about voting for Cuomo or obviously not Memdani.
Right.
If we're Republicans, that's our candidate. We should go in and vote for him. And then seeing what's transpired afterwards, I'm pretty disgusted. But again, everyone has the right and freedom to do what they want, and I wish no ill will on anyone, but I certainly won't be supporting any future endeavors of Mr. Sleewell.
No, most people are not. I mean, he still has a couple of crazy wackos, and they're really idiots. But that's it. He's disappointed. He's backstabbed. He's sold out. He's done all those things, and to put himself in the same sentence as President Trump and John Catsimatidis is really embarrassing. But I do want to get to this no king stuff because it was in just about every city across America. And Anthony, you would have been great if you were here in New York, not South Carolina, for hours with Robert De Niro and Tish James and Al Sharpton. But I got to ask, did they have one of those no king protests in your state, by your city in South Carolina?
They did. I was out. It was a beautiful afternoon in Greenville, South Carolina. I went out, and they were out there. They had their little signs, no kings. But I swear to you, and I've seen it all over the country, it was similar, but they were exclusively, it looked like they emptied out every retirement community. And it was the walkers with the tennis balls on the front and the hurricanes with the headlights and all of the it's like the people used everything they have commercials for on Fox News. Those are the only people that were out there protesting, and
really?
None of them know what the hell they're out there for, Sid.
No.
You see so many of these videos on social media where they're asked, what do you mean no kings? How is Trump a king? Who would you rather have in there? And they get angry when they're confronted. They profess to be so passionate about being out there and wanting to protest, yet they have not a clue.
Nothing.
What they're doing out there. It's astounding.
I know. And, I used to live on the Upper West Side in the city. Thank God I got out of there. And I would have to go down to 72nd Street once in a while. I lived on 104th and West End. So I would take the 1, the 2, or the 3, whatever it was, and I get up at like 72nd or 73rd and Broadway. And that's where they started this the Women's March. So this is This is when this thing first took off, Anthony. There was like thousands that were in their pussy hats. Remember that, the pussy hats?
Oh, yeah.
And thousands of women. And the same thing, because you know me, I'm like you. I'm a radio guy. If I'm sitting on a ferry, if I'm sitting on a train, if I'm sitting on an airplane, there's no conversations. Everything turns into an interview. So I would talk to these ladies and go, what are you doing here? We hate Trump. Why? Hello?
Nothing.
Hello? Well, what do you mean? He's terrible to women. He's terrible to gays. He's terrible to blacks. What are you talking about? What, do you like the guy? Yeah, I love the guy. But those same types of women that would march in that type of thing, they were there on Saturday, too.
Oh, yeah. And then you ask, well, give me an example of something Trump's done. And they go, oh, there's so many to choose from. I don't even know where to start. You go, well, start with one. Start with any one. And then they throw stuff at you. They have people with the umbrellas they put in your face. They hit you with a sign. They're so violent. They get so frustrated with themselves. And then it turns into this big, low IQ costume party where they're wearing all kinds of furry animal things. And they're going out, like I said, with not a clue what they're even out there for.
They did the same thing when President Trump delivered what I thought was his best State of the Union ever, Anthony Cumia. Maybe his best speech ever. You may remember, not that far away from Congress, in D.C., by the mall, they had their own little get-together, the Democrats, and they were also dressed as furry animals. I mean, these are adults. This is what these people are doing. And then you want to know why. You want to know why our country is going to hell in a handbasket. We've had 3 different Americans murdered, Anthony Cumia, over the last couple of weeks. We had Stephanie Minter in Virginia. We had beautiful Sheridan Gorman shot in the back and murdered in Chicago. By the way, she's a Westchester girl. And then, of course, we had Richard Williams right here in New York City, 83-year-old Army vet. He survived cancer. He survived the war. He was thrown on the subway tracks, and he's dead. Yep. And the mayor of this city, who has since then congratulated the WNBA, been out there for Nurdine, who's a terrorist, has Khalil at the house a couple of weeks ago, at the very least a terrorist sympathizer. He hasn't said a word about an Army vet dead on the subway tracks, and these are the people that love him. You see where the country's going?
Yeah, nothing about that. You know what he does tweet about, though, on social media? About the lives lost at Rikers Island. He tweets about a couple of people who have lost their lives. And then he says, my heart goes out to the family. Yeah. What about the families of truly innocent victims? Productive citizens, people that actually have loving families and contribute and have contributed, like this veteran, to the better of the United States of America. Not a peep out of this guy. Boy, has he been a lemon. I mean, just nothing but detrimental to the city of New York. And where are all his promises? Where are the free buses, government grocery stores? No. He handed out some free child care, but
it's not free.
No, he's really turned out to be quite the lemon, even for the commies that voted for him.
He's even worse than de Blasio, which is hard to imagine. Yeah. So you're not, I know, of course, it poses a national security threat, 1,000%. If you deny that, you're somewhere between naive and stupid and closer to the latter. There's always blackmail. But put that aside for a second. You're not upset with Bryon Noem. It's nothing you haven't done, right?
It reminds me, I got to go buy more balloons today. I'm a little short on balloons. Sid, what in the hell? It just shows you just don't know what people are into. Some of these people get exposed like this, and it's just beyond all reason. What did Trump say? He goes, "Oh yeah, that's a shame.
That's a shame. It's terrible. Yeah.
He sat there with the president of the United States.
I know.
He shook his hand. He probably had conversations with Trump. Yeah. And then Trump's like, "Wait, balloons?" He takes balloons and puts them in his shirt. It is such
but don't you think that Trump should have figured it out when Bryon asked if he could borrow Melania's bra? I'm just curious.
Yeah, maybe that was probably a red flag. I just It's such a strange thing, and how embarrassing for Kristi
know.
Noem, right on the heels of
Terrible.
getting the boot.
Yeah.
And then she's got this to deal with. But here's the only bright light for the Noem family is that the left, the liberals, they can't say anything about this. They can't really get on and bash him because this is right up their alley.
Oh, yes. Yes.
This is how they live their lives with these insane, perverse proclivities that they have.
Oh, yeah, cross-dressing and transgenders, and this is what they love. They run on this, so you're right.
They love to unload on this guy about his lifestyle here, but this is, totally normal to them. Oh, we all put balloons up on our shirts, go on websites and pout.
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.